Right After President's podcast.
Hi all, my name is Natalia Vasilyeva and this is my podcast called Right After Presidents, where I help people with their career changes and review their resumes. And today I will be reviewing the resume of Chase. He is an American and he has a very interesting history. So he was studying international studies and Russian. He was going to become a pilot. Probably he had some education there. And then 7 years he was a sales guy. He was selling pest control during his studies. He also worked as a sales guy, like digital sales guy, selling the Google ads to small businesses. And in November of last year, I think 2022, he went to study to cybersecurity camp. So as far as I understand, he wants to be in cybersecurity. And right now he's working as GSOC operator as a contractor for Amazon. Yeah, in some small company which provides services to Amazon. Great. Let's look at the resume. I wanted to say a few words about the structure. I have a good episode, almost all of it dedicated to structure, but it's in Russian, like for whoever speaks Russian and is interested, it's Ira's resume review, and I'll get the link into the description. But yeah, as I say, it's in Russian. So I will say a few words about the structure here as well. Top of your resume is your name and then your contact information, and Chase has all of that. So he has his name as the first line, and then he has his phone number, Gmail address, and LinkedIn just below that. That's great. That's how it should be. I know some people add the third line here saying the state and zip code, or like the city, state, and zip code where they live. People who want to find the job on site near the place they live, they do it. Those who are looking for the job like all over the United States, for instance, they usually don't add their home address. Yeah, it will depend. If you target your own location, then you add it. If you don't target your own location, then just exclude it. The next part of the resume shall be a professional summary. And unfortunately, Chase does not have it. And I would think this is one of the major parts of the resume. And it's very easy to write it because it's written in a very defined format. It's basically one sentence and a very structured sentence. And the first word or words of this sentence shall be the position that you are targeting. And Chase doesn't have the summary, so I'm not sure from his resume which exact position he is looking for. Many people actually ask me what to do if you are targeting different positions, like say a few of them. Unfortunately, you'll have to do a separate resume for each position you're looking for. Maybe not each position, but each job family you're looking for, you'll definitely have to have a separate resume for that. Because it's not only about the summary, it's about how you present your experience, how you present your skills, and all of that will be dependent on the job family you're looking for. But a little bit more about that later. Now about the summary. So the first part is the job family you are targeting. Say cybersecurity specialist or whatever the companies name this position. Then you say with X years of experience. And yeah, Chase doesn't have much experience. He just did a boot camp. And I'll talk a little bit about how to deal with this. You can't write 0 years of experience here for sure. It will be a red flag for HRs, etc. But you shouldn't lie here either. So there are ways to deal with these years of experience. And then you write in and the industry in which you have this experience. And it can be a broad industry like IT. It can be something more detailed, where exactly you have this experience. The idea here is what you want to highlight to people, because summary is the first thing they will be looking at. Maybe key skills will be the second one, or key skills can be the first and summary can be the second one. But yeah, as I say, it's like one of the first places where people will look. And here, like, if you are looking for a job in the broad industry, like say you are looking in all of IT and you don't care much what exactly you're going to do, what exactly the organization that you will be working in is doing, you write it broadly. If you are looking for something more specific, for instance, you have a very narrow interest in some specific industry, or like you have experience in this very specific industry and you want to continue, then you write it a bit more detailed. Okay, now about how to deal with years of experience. The thing is that, as I said, you have to have at least 1 or 2 years of experience here for you to get the job. Again, like some people get the job with no experience. It happens, but it's not likely that you get a good job without experience. So yeah, like the best practice is to find at least 1 or 2 years of experience. And again, so there are different tips here for those with little experience. So the first tip I can give you is that your potential future employer doesn't care if you got paid for what you did or not. So any educational projects you did that you have a good understanding about, that you can explain in detail what you did, how you did, why you did that. What was the end result of this educational project, etc. If you have all this good understanding, then it's your experience, regardless, again, if you are paid for that or not. Any internship you did during your studies, any projects you did just for yourself, just out of your curiosity, any freelance projects you did, everything counts here. And you can also round things up, like, you have a year and 8 months of experience. You can round this up to 2 years. You worked in some company like for half a year, then you had a few month gap, and then you did something later, etc. You can round all this up. Like the company that will take you will understand that you are a beginner. That's for sure. There's no doubt in that. But even if you are a beginner, they are looking for something from you. So you need to find this something. And actually Chase has quite good experience. I think he has something to show, and part of it he does show in his resume. So let's go further down the structure and discuss it in detail. The next section in the resume shall be skills. Chase has skills. Unfortunately, they are in the end of his resume. It shall be the third thing after like the name and contact details, summary, and the third shall be skills. Chase has skills written pretty well, so they are structured into 3 groups. So systems, security, and other. The only thing I would add here in terms of structure, I would add bullet points, but like that, it's also okay. I think I would put probably security as the first bullet point, because cybersecurity is something where he is looking for a job. So I would think this is the main skills. And there are quite many of them that he has here. So for instance, system network troubleshooting, incident response, risk mitigation, GRC, vulnerability risk assessment, control frameworks, data encryption, key management, malware, intrusion detection, and a few more. So quite a lot of them. I'm not an expert, unfortunately, in cybersecurity, so I can't say if they are relevant or not, but they look relevant, and yeah, there are quite a few of them. And then he has systems, Windows, Linux, and Unix, great. And then he has other, what he writes there is fluent in Russian, okay, customer service, Eagle Scout. Yeah, if it's relevant for cybersecurity, then great. Yeah, languages also, languages, sometimes people put the last bullet point in skills as languages, but it's good to put it in other as well. So I think Chase has good skills and the section itself is well structured. The only tip I would give here, I don't know if it's relevant for Chase, but for anyone who is looking for a job, whatever job, my main tip is to go to the job ads that you like. I don't know, choose maybe 10 job ads that you think you want potentially apply to and you think that they will take you. And how you understand that they will take you. If you have 80% of basic qualification, you can be more or less confident that they will take you. Of course, it will depend on the market. When the market is good for those who look for jobs, they may take you with, 60% of basic qualification. When it's more recession and there is not that many positions in the market, but many people are looking for the job, then probably they will become more picky and maybe they will need more of you. But yeah, the rule of thumb is 80% of basic qualification. If you have some preferred qualifications, in addition to that, that's just great. That's a perfect match. Some people will also apply when they have 60-70% of basic qualification, but it's more risky. So what you do, you find out these 10 job ads that you have 80% of key skills. 80% of basic qualifications they mention, and put those basic qualification in your skills, word for word, exactly the same way as they write them. And then it would be great. Maybe you will find that you lack something when you look for those job ads, something that they mentioned there. Maybe you will see that you have some skills that are not required in majority of those job ads. Then maybe you will find out that you may need to exclude something. But yeah, it's just a good rule of thumb of what to start from for the people that are writing this key skills section. The only additional thing I would say here is that sometimes companies will put some vague things like non-technical skills and non-measurable, not easily definable skills. And what I mean is attention to details, good customer service, ability to communicate well, something like that. These skills, even if you see them in job ads, I don't recommend putting into your key skills because these you want to show rather than write that you have it. You want to show that you have it with your resume examples, with your work experience, with what you say about what you did. So you want your interviewer or HR to make this conclusion themselves rather than say it. It's attention for detail, for instance. It can mean very different things for different people. It's not very measurable. While system network troubleshooting, it's a very defined skill. So this is what should be in your resume. Well-defined things, well-defined skills. I think Chase's resume in this case is very good. The only thing puts your skills on the top on this professional summary. Based on the structure, the next section shall be professional experience. So the section where you talk about work experience, and Chase has it a bit differently structured. So he has education and certification first, then projects, then a professional experience. It shall be basically completely the opposite. It shall be professional experience, then projects, and then education and certifications. Formal education that you have, for instance, bachelor, Chase has bachelor in international studies, usually are in education section, and everything else will be in certification section below it. So usually people do 2 sections, but if you want to do one, you can do one, but then also this bachelor degree I will put first, because this formal education is still different from whatever additional courses or certifications you did. A bit more valuable, even if it is in a different area, not in the area where you're looking for the job. Okay, and now about professional experience. So for people like Chase who have a lot of different experience in different industries, and some of this experience may be not 100% relevant to what they are looking for right now, I would recommend assessing all of their experience in terms of if this is relevant for the job they are looking for or not. So his first experience, not first, but latest experience is GSOC operator. And he just started to work there in July 2023. So it's like just 2 months for him. And he has 3 bullet points there. Global security operations for Amazon corporate security. Manage incoming alarms and perform proper function according to the relevant SOPs, perform incident response procedure and ensure adherence to SLA requirements. Okay, I understand that 2 months is not enough to get like a whole bunch of experience. It makes sense. But on the other hand, I would recommend to still add numbers and details if you could here. For instance, manage incoming alarms and perform the proper function according to the relevant SOPs. You can write, for instance, how many incoming alarms you have per day and how you manage them. So a little bit more detail in this sentence will make it perfect. Then perform incident response procedures and ensure adherence to SLA requirements. Like, what requirements do you have? Also can get a little bit more detail here to this bullet point. But yeah, I understand it's like just 2 months of experience, so not much. But if you have a little bit more detail, because now it does sound a little bit as what companies put in their job ads. When they write the requirements for the role rather than what you did yourself. A few words, a few details will add believability and will provide good impression on your resume on this job position. Yeah, another minor detail, but it makes sense to always follow this rule. You start each bullet point from the verb in past simple, regardless of if you work in this workplace right now or not. Yeah, global security operations for Amazon corporate security. It's more of explanation of what the company does rather than what you did, as far as I understand. So you can leave it, but not as a bullet point, but as small explanations under, so you say that you are a GSOC operator for CB Line Americas, and you can just write underneath this without a bullet point, global security operations for Amazon corporate security. Okay, and then 2 other bullet points. So you write manage incoming alarms, blah, 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 and perform. So you write managed and performed. And the second one, perform incident response procedures and ensure, so performed and ensured. Another minor thing, I heard that some people say don't use the same verbs. Try to use as many different verbs in past simple in your resume as you could. I don't know if it's relevant actually for English speakers. For foreigners, yes, you need to show your language skills. For English speakers, maybe a little bit less relevant, but still it's nice to show that you can express yourself in the whole different words, like synonyms, etc. Okay, second experience is cybersecurity program at Springboard. So 380 plus hours of hands-on course material with one-on-one industry expert mentor oversight. 35 plus mini projects and 30 plus labs that provided hands-on industry practice in informational technology, security, risk management, security frameworks, and software development lifecycle. Gain skills in system security, network security, vulnerability, and risk assessment, and more. Okay, this actually sounds like an educational thing rather than work. And it's nice to put here, but in a different way. So you say that you worked on 35 plus mini projects and 30 plus labs. First of all, I think I would not put it in work experience if only you don't have some big project that was really work. For instance, internship for some company. If not, I would put that all in project sections. But then Chase has a few projects there. So I would put probably a little bit more of them. As you say, you did 35 mini projects. So find 2, 3, maybe 4 flagman projects that you did and that you can give a detailed explanation about to your future employer. And explain them in this project section. If you have links to GitHub or whatever open source, awesome, put your links there. And yeah, we will talk a little bit more about what to write there, but it shall be all about the projects in the project section. 380 hours of hands-on course material. Yeah, I would not put it in the job experience for sure. Probably in education and certification, you can write about this 380 plus hours because it's a lot. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not work experience. And then, yeah, your last bullet point about gain skills in cybersecurity, network security, etc., you need to write about it in skills. So your skills is system security, network security, risk assessment, vulnerability assessment. And I think you have it all in skills likely. So yeah, it's not needed here. So in your experience, you write about what you did rather than about the skills that you gained. Skills have their own section. Okay, the third experience is digital account executive in 2022. So Chase worked there for the whole year. He did digital sales as far as I understand. He was responsible for holding demonstration and closing business deals with local business leaders, met objectives for tier promotion within first 6 months. So tier promotion within first 6 months, it's great. I think it's probably nice to have here if you think that this work experience is relevant for what you look for right now. I don't know if it is. Holding demonstration and closing business deals, probably something that cybersecurity expert won't be doing. Think about it. If you think that there is something relevant there for your new work experience, then leave it. If not, just completely exclude it. Because Chase has his fourth work experience that may be actually a bit more relevant. It's outside sales professional team lead for Fox Pest Control. He was promoted there as well. And he worked there for 4 or 5 years, actually. And he was promoted to team lead after first 4 months. That's great. That sounds cool. And then recruited, trained, and led teams in sales techniques. On one hand, it's cool because he has this like management experience that can be relevant wherever he goes. On the other hand, if he's looking for like junior position, entry-level position, maybe the team leading experience won't be required right now. And in this case, there is always a risk when you have like this kind of big experience in one area and you're looking for another area and you write how you were a manager before. This can be a good thing. And I think for most of companies, it will be a good thing. But for some, it may be considered a bad thing in terms of that the person is used to be a manager and may be bored to be an individual contributor quickly. And then they may consider you overqualified. So think about it. I don't have a direct answer here. It's up to them. And unfortunately, the decision is yours if you want to include it or not. And then 2 other bullet points he has here. Gained excellent customer service skills in high pressure situation. So again, you write about skills in your skills section. If you want to write about customer service skills, if you think they are relevant, put them. And I see actually Chase put them. Here, if you want to write about this high pressure situation, you can say performed customer service in high pressure situations. And this can be relevant, like high pressure situations, they are everywhere. You will go to cybersecurity, there will be high pressure situations there. So maybe it's worth leaving here. And then personal sales eclipsed 740 plus accounts, generating over $600,000 in recurring annual revenue, leading to company expansion. That's good. The only thing, you need to start from verb in past simple. So maybe manage 740 plus accounts and generated over $600,000 in recurring annual revenue. But you need to think if it's relevant. And it feels to me that it's not for cybersecurity. The next section is projects. And Chase talks about penetration test capstone project. He writes, as my final project at Springboard, I ran a thorough simulated penetration test, also known as a structured walkthrough. In-depth simulation of 5 phases of a standard penetration test, including blah, 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 concluded with a thorough risk assessment. Great. This project, the only thing I will do a little bit less verbiage here. So I would just say penetration test capstone project, in-depth simulation of 5 phases of standard penetration test, and basically just leave the second bullet point alone. The first bullet point is not needed. And maybe add a little bit details here, like what was a result of your analysis? What conclusions you came to with this test? Again, if you have links to the project you did, put them there, like for people to go and see like the code or whatever, documentation you have on the analytics you did. It's very, very important for people who have little experience. And I would add a few other projects here as well. Not more than 4, I would say. Maybe even 3 is enough. But 1, unfortunately, I think is a little bit too few. Okay, and then he says home lab, personal projects, VLAN and virtual machine configuration, CPLong, SIEM, hands-on security system, hardening troubleshooting experience. So these actually can go to professional experience. You can call it not home lab, but for instance, freelance. And again, each bullet point starts from the verb in past simple, but probably you can add a little bit more here of what you did yourself or for clients that is relevant to cybersecurity. And this will be, and also add the dates here for how long you did it. And this will be your additional work experience. And then education and certification. Yeah, as I already said, I would recommend put bachelor separately from certifications, but at least, put it on the top and put everything else below. And this cybersecurity program, you can add that it was 380 plus hours, 35 mini project, 30 plus labs. All of these goes into this certification section. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Of course, if any questions, I'm very open to talk through them. As usual, subscriptions, likes are very welcome. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.